Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey in this story. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with moments between both Rey and Kylo Ren in the third act of the film. Specifically, descriptions consisting of Rey on a battlefield, sprinting toward an army of red stormtroopers that are firing blasters at her. It's described that Rey is sprinting and she is deflecting all of the blaster fire back at the red stormtroopers. It said that Rey is being backed up by both Finn and Poe behind her as they use their blaster rifles, taking out mountain troopers in the distance. It said that Poe is being helped by Finn as Poe has a leg injury. The next goes over Kylo Ren arriving to the battle with his Knights of Ren on their speeders. It said that Kylo and his knights travel in a pack on their speeders, giving a parallel to the Cloud Riders from Solo: A Star Wars Story. It said that Kylo and his Knights of Ren split up on their speeders, shooting down Resistance troopers and infantry. Kylo's speeder is said to have a missile system that launches at one of the large vehicles, holding weapons and soldiers. Another goes over Kylo passing over a trench and jumping off of his speeder as he begins to slaughter Resistance soldiers with his lightsaber in the trenches. It's described that Kylo eventually boards himself back on his speeder and begins to take out mobile turrets on the Resistance. Lastly, a description of Rey climbing up a rope that leads up to a high cliff and to the entrance of the First Order headquarters. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, this is, of course, the big land battle that is to take place in Episode 9 within the third act of the movie. Honestly, guys, we haven't really heard of a land battle this massive since, like, the prequel trilogy era, and I couldn't be more happy enough to say that J.J. Abrams really seems like he's going to deliver when it comes to the action-packed sequences in this movie. So first things first, I want to go over my favorite part about all of this is Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren traveling in a pack on speeders. So this most definitely is a direct parallel to the Cloud Rider gang in Solo: A Star Wars Story that we got to see with Enfys Nest and her gang. So you can already see what they're trying to do with, of course, the Star Wars films. They're not only trying to create parallels in Episode 9 to the past Skywalker saga movies, but also parallels to the spin-off films like Rogue One: A Star Wars Story and even Solo. And that, to me, I think is brilliant by JJ and Chris Terrio. So this land battle, by the way, is the location of the First Order headquarters and is a planet based within the Outer Rim. We're not quite sure exactly what this planet is going to be called in Episode 9, but nonetheless, we do know that this new headquarters for the First Order is actually an abandoned headquarters that was actually supposed to be used back during the days before the events of the sequel trilogy. So the other one of which that I do want to go over is, of course, the one of Rey that shows us directly that she has evolved as a character and has become more powerful than ever before in comparison to how she was in The Last Jedi, using the lightsaber now to deflect multiple blaster fire from red stormtroopers firing at her. Now, by the way, guys, we got our first look at those red stormtroopers that are actually going to be dubbed Red Fury, I believe. We got a first look at them in the leaked poster just yesterday for Star Wars Episode 9, in that leaked retail poster, I must add. They look amazing, I gotta say. I think that they look very unique and very sinister, and I think that making them red was a perfect decision because we actually got something similar to that in Star Wars Resistance, and it seems as though that they really want to do something very unique by expanding off of that idea and implementing that into Episode 9. So, having red stormtroopers all firing at Rey where she's deflecting all of them back at them, does it seem a little overpowered for the character of Rey to you guys? That's a big question open on the table right now. We do know that Rey is a very powerful character as it is without proper Jedi training, and that's the only problem that I really do have with the main character of Rey in these stories. So the other one of which that I do want to go over is, of course, the trench system within the third act of the film on this planet that is the location of the First Order headquarters. Now, Kylo Ren is using his speeder as he infiltrates the trenches where the Resistance troopers and soldiers have actually pretty much, been able to invade that location of the First Order, where Kylo Ren eventually uses his crossguard lightsaber, slaughtering each and every one of them, one by one. And the last piece, alright, we do know that Rey has a lot of rock climbing skills in this movie, and will be climbing a lot of ropes, and this is of course one of them, where she eventually climbs up a rope that leads to a high cliff, and is the entrance to the First Order. Like I say, guys, this land battle in Episode 9 is going to be deeply inspired from the beach of Normandy from World War II, where the Germans pretty much, invaded that base on top of that cliff. That's exactly what J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio are aiming for in, of course, Star Wars Episode 9 in the third act. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to